listening to Limed, Teaching with a Twist, a podcast that plays with pedagogy. This month and next month, we're going to have some quick-fire reactions from some of my friends and colleagues. Alexis Hart from Allegheny College, Gabi Pleschová from Comenius University, Katia Levintova from University of Wisconsin at Green Bay, and Karina Hamamouche from Butler University all participated in the summer research seminar about mentoring meaningful learning experiences. I asked them to share their responses to some audience and self-generated questions about mentoring just to get some reactions and some first thoughts that folks might be able to use in their mentoring practices. I hope you enjoy this quick-fire format. I'm Matt Wittstein. So as we get started, I've asked each of our speakers to introduce themselves, and then I will read a question and we'll hear what their responses are.
Hello, my name is Dr. Alexis Hart. I am a professor and chair of the English department at Allegheny College, where I also serve as the director of writing. Allegheny College is an undergraduate-only private liberal arts college with approximately 1,300 students and is located in Meadville, Pennsylvania.
My name is Karina Hamamouche, and I am an associate professor of psychology at Butler University. Butler University is a mid-sized comprehensive university in Indianapolis, Indiana. A comprehensive university is one that has some graduate programs, but is primarily focused on the undergraduate experience. We are a private institution, and the majority of our 4,500 students are undergraduates.
Hi, I'm Katia Levintova, and I'm the professor of political science, democracy and justice studies, and global studies at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. I also am a faculty mentor for the first year's seminar that I have been doing every fall for 15 years. Our university is a public university with the student enrollment of about 11,000. We are public, regional, comprehensive university serving predominantly northeast Wisconsin.
My name is Gabi Pleschová. I work as associate professor at Comenius University, Bratislava, Slovakia, which is a public university in Central Europe. It is a research university with about 20,000 students studying in a broad range of degree programs at BA, MA, and PhD levels. About 87% of our students are local Slovakian students, and the rest are international students.
What's one misconception you regularly hear about mentoring that you wish your colleagues would let go of?
I wish colleagues would let go of the misconception that mentoring is only one way. That is, that the mentor must be more senior or more experienced in the field than the mentee. As a Writing Center director, I have been mentored by numerous undergraduate writing consultants who are working with writers every day in the Writing Center. Similarly, numerous undergraduate students have helped me to see my field of rhetoric and writing studies in new and interesting ways.
The biggest misconception I hear about mentoring is about how much time it takes. Of course, it does take time to build meaningful relationships that are centered on trust, but there are so many small things that we can do to facilitate meaningful mentorship that does not take an immense amount of time. So, for example, putting snacks in your office that are easily accessible to your students is one really easy way to create a welcoming environment that can then lead to conversations that build trust. Additionally, asking students how they are when they enter class or what is one thing you're looking forward to this week is a really simple way to try to facilitate interactions with your students that can then build deep, meaningful relationships.
The biggest misconception is that mentors should have all the answers at all times. But a good mentor guides students to answers, but never decides for students. mentor can share resources and connect students to others who can help. We are never a one-stop shop. Another small misconception that I hear about is that mentor is there to only deliver positive messages, but we can also deliver hard truths. We are not constant cheerleaders. I think of myself as a professional friend.
What's a small, concrete action that faculty or staff could take right now to help a mentoring relationship grow more intentionally?
I think it may be really helpful to talk about mentoring at various occasions, during classes, at institutional workshops, in informal conversations, talking about our experience, how mentoring was a helpful, satisfying practice.
One small action to take is to literally take a student to some of the resources on campus. Walk with them to the wellness center, to financial aid, or to the learning center. Do it together. Introduce students to your colleagues at those service offices. Ask questions together.
What's one misconception students bring into your specific mentoring context? For example, research, student support, or leadership roles.
One misconception that students bring into my mentoring context is that you only need one mentor. Instead, you need a constellation of mentors so that each mentor can bring a unique perspective and different skills and knowledge. So, for example, I tend to mentor a lot of students in psychology research, and that can be one context that I could be an appropriate mentor for many students. However, I always encourage my students to also get experience with other professors. So, for example, I am not a clinical psychologist, and a lot of my students want to go on to clinical grad school. It would be a good idea for them to find a mentor who has gone down that path because they can provide different guidance than I can. So, encouraging students to have multiple mentors that fit multiple different functions of a mentoring relationship is a really important misconception.
I often hear that students do not use resources because they want to figure things out themselves, which is very laudable. But why reinvent the wheel? Why not ask for that help, which is freely offered and encouraged to be used? Or I hear that students were told that college professors are such meanies that are here to fail them and weed them out, which is what I call the high school urban legend. It takes an entire first-year seminar to disabuse students of that notion in an entire semester's time and to show them that college professors truly care and are very invested in their success.
I'm going to respond to a slightly revised version of this question. One misconception that often impedes students from seeking a mentor for an undergraduate research project is the idea that only students with an A average or an A in a professor's course are eligible or suited for doing an extended undergraduate research project. I've been lucky enough to convince several students otherwise and to see them gain an enormous amount of confidence as practicing scholars that carries over into their coursework and other areas.
I hope you enjoyed this shorter episode. We'll be back in January with a few more quick fire questions, and then we'll resume our longer episodes to learn more about mentoring research in February, March, April, and May. Limed, Teaching with a Twist is a podcast produced in collaboration with the Center for Engaged Learning at Elon University. For more information, including show notes and additional engaged learning resources, visit www.centerforengagedlearning.org. Limed, Teaching with a Twist is a creation of Matt Wittstein, Associate Professor of Exercise Science at Elon University. Original music for the show was composed and recorded by Kai Mitchell, an Elon University alumnus. If you enjoy our podcast, please take a few moments to subscribe, rate, review, and share our show. We aim to bring insightful and relevant content to educators each month, and we would love to hear from you. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, do not hesitate to reach out. Our most updated information can be found on the Center for Engaged Learning website. Thanks for listening, and keep it zesty.